Hello friends, I hope you're doing well and I hope you're ready for another week with me as we celebrate spooky season. This week started off with a rainy day, my absolute favorite. Even though they make me sleepy, they also just reinvigorate my soul. I really enjoy that it's not so hot outside when it's rainy. I love that the sky becomes a light box, like nature's light box. So your eyes don't hurt in the sun, but you can see everything so clearly. I had a really fun time splashing around, looking at the drops on the leaves and flowers. And I enjoyed seeing the fallen leaves on the ground. This is a huge sign to me that fall is here, and I am getting so excited to go to pumpkin patches and maybe an orchard. Who knows? Definitely pumpkin carving. The moss was so beautiful on this day. I typically don't care much for the moss, but today was extra special. It looked so ghostly and spooky, and I just loved it so much. It was really nice to get out and have a little fun in the rain. Sometimes we forget the little things in life. Sometimes we forget things that used to bring so much joy to us as children. I've been working on healing my inner child, and what a better time to do it than now, especially during my favorite season. Now let's head back inside. Grab a snack, get cozy, and come hang out with me as we celebrate week 3 of spooky season. Caramel apple lollipop, you were delicious, but it's time to make room for spooky spice. If I was a spice girl, I would definitely be spooky spice, no doubt about it. This basically smells like spices, I guess, autumn spices. It's pretty good. I like it. Boo! Just kidding. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make spooky spaghetti with vegan meatball recipe. The entire thing is vegan. Of course, you don't have to make it vegan if you don't want to, but that's what I prefer. So first up, you're just going to get started. Start your water boiling. You're going to get your pan. You're going to add oil and start heating it up. Usually I add onion. I love onion. I didn't have any this time, and I was too lazy to go to the store, so I'm just using garlic instead. So this one's a really garlicky recipe. Just add whatever you prefer. It doesn't have to be exactly like I make it. Then you're going to add your tomato sauce. You can use whatever pasta sauce that you prefer, and of course you're going to add a little bit of water just to make sure it doesn't stay too thick. You're going to preheat your oven to 350, and then you're going to start on your meatballs. So I love the Impossible meat ground, or meatless ground, I guess. I'm not really sure. It's not meat, so I don't really know. Plant ground? I don't know. They only had the light version, which has less fat. I don't prefer it, but that's what they had, so I recommend the original Impossible ground. And you're just gonna add whatever spices you like. I like to add garlic and Italian seasoning, little salt. And then of course you need your breadcrumbs, whatever breadcrumbs you like. And then you kind of just mix it up with your hands or a spoon, however you want. And then you're going to form them into meatballs and put them on your pan. Pretty simple. They're usually around an inch and a half. Depends on how big you like them to be. and then you're going to put them in the oven for 20 minutes. Next, we're going to season our pasta sauce. You don't have to do this. I like to though. I love seasoning, so I prefer to just add a little bit of seasoning in here, a little salt, all of that. And then of course you can add more water if you feel like it's getting a bit thick before you're ready for it to be done. Then onto the best part, we have our spooky spaghetti. We have pumpkins, we have spiders, we have bats. You're gonna add oil and salt to your water so that the pasta doesn't stick. And then you're going to add the pasta in and then cook for the amount of time it says on the packaging. This one is 7 to 8 minutes. I prefer my pasta to be al dente, so I do the lowest amount always. So in this case, 7 minutes. Then once the 7 minutes is up, you're going to drain the pasta in a colander. And then of course, once your meatballs are done, you're going to take them out and then you're going to add the pasta to the pasta sauce. This is a key important part to pasta making. A lot of people take their pasta and they put it on their plate and then they put the sauce on their plate. No, stop doing this. You need to incorporate your pasta into your sauce so that it gets fully immersed. And I don't know what it is, but it just absolutely changes the flavor. It's so much better this way. Try it out. I promise you'll love it. And then you can start plating everything. Get as much pasta as you want. Put your meatballs on the plate. And then you are done. These noodles were absolutely delicious. I wasn't sure what to expect because I usually like angel hair or a thin pasta noodle. This is so good, you guys. You have to try it. Let me know how you like the meatballs.
Yes, kids, you too can own one of the big Halloween trees. Now, we all together?
Oh, I want a mask. Can I have a mask? Honey, don't get too close. You'll ruin your eyes.
Jack, watch.
I make
Big giveaway at 9. Don't miss it.
So I got this little kit on Amazon with some witch hats, cauldrons, and pumpkins and witch brooms. I showed one of the hats in a previous video for my Halloween tree topper, but I had all the rest of these and I was trying to figure out what to do with them because they only came in this pack. I couldn't buy them separately. I am a lover of statement earrings, so I decided to make some earrings out of these. They're pretty simple if you have the right tools and all of the supplies. You can find everything at Michael's or your local craft store, or even Amazon if you prefer that. First up, we have these pumpkins. They're super cute, like mini little pumpkin trick-or-treat buckets. This is a simple one. We're not really changing it at all. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to take the supplies shown here, and you're basically going to just take your little earring hook and use your jewelry tool to pinch it together, and it's literally as simple as that. They look so cute. As an adult, I wanted to show you, this could be your little candy bucket. You can put little treats in here as a fun little Halloween outfit. If you had maybe an office Halloween party or you're going to a Halloween party, this could be a cute little thing to tuck away some candy for the rest of the night. Up next is going to be the cauldrons. So I saw on the cauldrons that there were some fire embellishments, and I thought it was a shame that they weren't fire colored. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get all of our supplies ready, as you see here. And we're just going to paint the flames all the way around. I started with the red color and went around and just kind of put that in the middle of the flames. Then I went to the orange, put that right outside. Don't worry if it's not perfect. Flames are kind of flames. They kind of just do what they do. So it's actually cooler if it's more messy. Don't worry if you make any mistakes, you can just kind of wipe it off with your hand or a napkin. And then you take the yellow and you kind of just put it on the outside there. Feel free to blend the colors and just kind of do whatever your creative mind wants to do. It's as simple as that. And that is the flames done. Next we have the inside of the cauldron. We're going to take some polyfill, as you see here. I'm just going to take roughly around the right amount for stuffing the cauldron. And then you're going to take these little beads or sticky beads. These are like pearls, little sticky pearls. I'm pretty sure these are for scrapbooking, but who cares? I've had these forever and I'm glad they finally have a use now. So we're going to take these and we're going to hot glue them onto the top of the polyfill to create like bubbles. So it looks like a bubbling cauldron. And then from there, we're going to take some green paint with a fluffy brush. And we're going to just stipple the green paint right on top. Make sure it's well saturated. It doesn't matter what color the little bubbles are because everything's going to be painted, so don't worry about it. Also, don't worry about being super clean. It's okay if it's messy because we're going to turn whatever mess we have on the rim just into some potion drips. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Basically, you just kind of paint around the edge and then kind of just drip down. It's really that simple, as you can see here. So once you're done with that, you're going to take your earring hook and you're pretty much going to do the same thing that you did with the pumpkins and kind of just fit it on there. If you need to cut or adjust anything, feel free to do so. And here's the before. And here is the after. Also be careful, the paint may still be wet, so just make sure that it's fully dry. But yeah, I thought these were super cute. I kind of just went with the flow, kind of just used what I had, and I absolutely love them and I think they're so cute. Such a cool statement earring. And last but not least, we're going to make these little witch hat, witch broom earrings. These ones are really simple as well. Basically, I'm going to show you here how you're going to loop the metal once you get it through the hat. And then you're going to pierce through the top of the hat so that the loop is at the top. And then you're going to kind of take the tool and just wrap the metal around the tool so that it will wrap around the broom, and then you kind of squeeze it tight. Then you're going to put hot glue on it to secure it, just like in the one that I made previous. And then you can kind of straighten it out from there, however you kind of want it to look. And then you add your earring hook to it and squeeze it tight, and that is literally it. These were really cute, super simple. I kind of just threw them together because I didn't know what else to do with these, but I like how they turned out, and I'm excited to wear them out. So I hope you make these. If you do, let me know.
About that Mr. Talbot. I'm sure he says the same thing about you. Cut it out! Wow!
Did you know that werewolves are allergic to spandex? Maybe that's why you've never seen your mailman wearing bike shorts. Ha ha! Bike shorts! Monsters are everywhere! Everywhere! Everywhere!
This monster mania of yours has gotten completely out of control.
There's something wicked out there. We feel it in the air. This monster must be stopped for good.
I figured it was about time to bust out my Halloween sweater vests. I think this one is so cute with the bears dressed up for trick-or-treating and the candy corn. It's so cozy and I love wearing them. They make me feel safe.
Another thing I really enjoy collecting would be children's books, specifically Halloween ones or ones that I think have really cute illustrations. I'm a super visual person, so all the visual stims are really good for me. So I did want to read one of the newer Halloween children's books I got recently, so I hope you enjoy. We're going to be reading The Little Ghost Who Was a Quilt. It was written by Rael Nason, and it was illustrated by Byron Eggenschweiler. Once there was a little ghost who was a quilt. He didn't know why he was a quilt. His mom and dad and all his friends were sheets. They were light as air. They flew high and fast and twirled and whirled in the sky. They could even ride on a gust of wind and whoosh back to the ground like they were going down an invisible slide. The little ghost who was a quilt was heavy because of his layers of fabric. It was hard for him to lift off, and he was a slow flyer. He got hot and sweaty when he tried to go faster. The only time he attempted to twirl and whirl, it didn't end well. One day, he and his friends were at the park when they heard someone coming. His friends zoomed away because ghosts are terrified of people, but the little ghost couldn't escape quickly enough. He flopped over a bench. A family came along, and a little boy who was eating an ice cream cone sat down beside him. The little ghost had never been so close to a human before, and he felt fear in every fiber of his fabric. The boy only stayed a few minutes, but he dropped a big glob of melted ice cream all over the little ghost's face. Later, when some other ghosts saw him, they laughed at the stain on his forehead. The little ghost was embarrassed, and also very sticky. The little ghost didn't like being different. His mom told him he had an ancestor who was a checkered tablecloth, and his great-grandmother was an elegant lace curtain. Everyone said she was the most beautiful ghost they'd ever seen. Even knowing that, the little ghost didn't feel any better. He wished he was just one fabric, and not a whole bunch of squares sewn together. The other ghosts called him Scrappy, and he didn't like that. But there was one day that always cheered him up. Halloween! People seemed excited about ghosts on Halloween, and sometimes children dressed as them to trick or treat. Every year, the ghosts went to watch the festivities. They stayed silent and still in the trees, and pretended to be decorations far away from any humans. Too heavy to hover, the little ghost, who was a quilt, usually draped himself over a clothesline. He never had a very good view. This year he had a better plan. He remembered how close he had been to the boy at the park, so he decided he would be brave and fold himself over a chair on a porch, right in the center of the action. Halloween night came, and the little ghost flew as fast as he could, but he was only halfway across the lawn when he heard people coming. At the last possible second, he flopped on the porch rail. Bloop! A mom walked up the driveway with a little girl dressed as a ballerina. While the girl trick-or-treated, the mother asked the man on the porch something. The next thing the little ghost knew, the mom had picked him up. He was so scared, he thought his seams might come unstitched. The mom wrapped the little ghost around the little girl and put them both in the wagon. The girl had been cold, and now the little ghost was keeping her warm. He could hardly believe what was happening. They headed down the street, past his friends and their tree. "No, don't go," one whispered. "What are you doing?" The little ghost decided to fly away as soon as the girl got out of the wagon to trick or treat again. But the mom didn't turn into the next yard, or the next one after that. By the time she finally walked up to a house, the little ghost was panicking. How would he get away? The mother parked the wagon and carried the girl and the little ghost into the house. The little ghost didn't know what to do. He reminded himself to stay calm and be brave. The little ghost peeked around the room. There were Halloween decorations everywhere. He even saw a branch trimmed with lollipop ghosts. They looked just like his friends in the tree. The girl tucked the little ghost who was a quilt under her legs as she sorted her candy into piles. He felt surprisingly cozy. Maybe things would be okay after all. The girl ate a chocolate bar, and when she wiped her sticky fingers on the little ghost, he didn't even mind. After the little girl was asleep upstairs, her mom gently folded the ghost who was a quilt, She smiled and admired his fabrics and traced her finger along a line of stitching. It tickled. She set the little ghost on the couch and went upstairs too. When she was gone, he flew into the fireplace and out the chimney. His smile was 3 squares wide. The little ghost's friends cheered and rushed over to him. They were amazed by his courage and wanted to hear every detail of his adventure. They flew slowly along with him all the way home. The little ghost was so happy he felt like he was floating without even trying. Everything that had happened was because he was a little different. Everything had happened because he was a quilt. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for watching. And as always, stay spooky, my ghouls.